So BarbiesGBF contacted me a few days ago and let me know that something was on its way, and I'm assuming this is it. No idea what it is beyond it's from Walmart and probably doll related. So let's open it up and see. It's a box of packing materials. Yay! Oh, yay! Oh, two of them. It is one and two Barbie Looks dolls. Thank you. These are my first looks. I adore this doll, of course. And then this one, you know, there's the whole name thing. So I would pronounce this doll's name Andra because I pronounce my name Andrea, but there are a million ways to pronounce my name. It used to bother me when people use the other pronunciation, but it doesn't anymore because, like I said, there are so many ways to pronounce my name. So this doll could be Andra, she could be Andra, she could be Andra. And if I want to think about it, there are probably other ways to pronounce, but that's cool. This is a very nice head sculpt, and of course, like I said, I adore this doll. The hair and the sculpt and the shortness. Yeah, I don't think, I know there were some people who were stealing earlier dark-skinned petite bodies for their Francie dolls. This doll's not losing her head to Francie, as much as I like Francie. Okay, so yeah, this is a very little content video right now, so let's see if we can find some clothes for these dolls. I'm going to start with her. Is she a tall? I think she's a tall. Actually, yes, the child is walking some of his friends through maps he's made for a game, so it's very much sarcasm and snark coming out of there. Anyway, I don't have a lot of experience with tall bodies. I only had one tall doll before. I didn't realize these had certificates of authenticity. Shows you how long it's been since I've had a collector Barbie. Alright, give me... get this doll free. Oh, she's actually not tabbed in. That's nice. So yeah, this is going to turn into an impromptu dressing dolls video. Alright. I have a lot of fabric over there that I need to organize because if you follow me on social media, you know I have been sewing a lot. Alright, does she have a frozen? No, she does not have a frozen elbow joint. Well, kind of frozen, kind of not. Yeah, we're going to need to wash that hair, aren't we? Alright. What can I put this doll in that is completely contrary to her high fashion monochrome look? See, I just made this the other day from fabric that I've been using for stuff I've been making for me, but I'm not really into the mood for dolls in sweatshirts right now. I want something a little fancier. I mean, I do like the basic pieces this doll has. A nice shiny skirt and a little, it's not really a halter top because it has a back, a little racer front tank top, cropped. What are you going to wear? What can I put you in that is completely out of character? Let's put in the fancy dress bag. Oh, that would match your makeup. And we have long, straight, long hair. Yes, I keep cutting implements all over the place. It's what happens when you sew. This matches her makeup. This. And there goes the sarcasm. This kind of keeps the monochrome. I did go through and downsize a lot of my doll clothes like a year or so ago, so probably the other things we don't actually have anymore. That also matches her makeup, believe it or not. See, I guess I should be speaking while I'm doing this. Yeah, I haven't really been doing a lot with dolls lately because I've just been sewing. I lost weight the previous year, and I'm not really inclined to go thrifting much right now because of, you know, global concerns. And I've never been inclined to go shopping in full price stores. I mean, when I say thrifting, I actually consider like TJ Maxx and Marshalls along that line too, because it is a place to get bargains and stuff that you don't expect to find. So if I've wanted new clothes, I pretty much had to make them myself, and I had fun doing that last year. But I was doing that instead of dolls and doll sewing, as I'm sure you've noticed. Actually, her boots would be cute with this. I'm going to try to keep this a lot shorter than most of my dressing dolls videos, because those I usually get a stack of dolls. These shoes, okay, these shoes are right versus left, aren't they? Okay. That's a very much change of aesthetic for her. And I have kept up with the contents of my doll trunk just enough that I know what's in what bag now. I don't have to fumble around to put things away. Let's see. We have a new necklace for that. Yes, I don't know why I end up keeping my doll necklaces stored like this. I did not sit down and say, hey, I should store my doll necklaces like this. It just sort of happened naturally, somehow. And so I keep my doll necklaces wrapped up in a deteriorating plastic bag. Let's see, is this tangled too far? Yeah, it tangled too far. If it was like that, it would be fine. But it's not. I still have a box of dolls to customize, and a box of doll heads and bodies to mix and match. But a lot of the customs I wanted to do is rerouting, and if I'm not in a very distinct mood, I do not want to reroute. I think I will like those dolls a lot once I do reroute them, but like I always say, dolls are patient. They'll wait until I get the inclination to work with them. I was actually going to just look for a plastic Barbie necklace, but this kind of fell out. And it is not quite short enough for me before I tuck it back in the Velcro. I think we'll go ahead and go with that tiny Cuban necklace. Alright. Don't feel like getting her bracelet. The shoes were there from the start. Let's see. I think I'll need to actually work with her hair, see if I can style it anyway, even slightly different from her stock hairstyle, because I like the idea of it being forward, like over her eyes more, but it's obviously not meant to be there. Just see if I can get this action figure beret on her. Every once in a while I will look up fashion forecast trends to see how out of style I am, but it's always funny to see things that are coming in style that are things that I have been doing forever anyway. And one of the things I looked at recently about fashion trends upcoming forecast is saying that berets will be back in style. Alright, I was getting into my sewing pins so I can put a little pin in the top of the beret to keep it on her head. So there she is, not at all how Mattel intended her. And that's my fun with dolls. Now, does your just being a little impatient. And I'm so out of practice if, well, let's say if the audio on this turns out to be just me like whispering incoherently, then I won't even publish it. So I'm assuming that if I'm publishing this, that you'll actually be able to hear what I'm saying when I'm muttering to myself. So you can get your background noise for doll hobbies, like I used to provide. Her name is Tamika, right? Yes, her name is Tamika. And I think scissors will work better than clips. Oh, there's an elastic on this one. I saved those elastics. Those are good for hair. I know I'm not the only, I can't be the only person who saves all these elastics, but I'm sure there are other people who have no patience for them and just cut right through them. I've been saving them since they appeared on the dolls packaging in the 90s. They don't really last that long, but oddly, combination of old-fashioned threads for their hair and modern, annoying Swift-Hatch tags. Nice enough. I actually didn't mind when Mattel used to sew the doll's hair to a piece of plastic, because that was usually sewn in such a way that once you got it started, the thread would just, the stitch would fall apart as you tugged on it. Alright, so how are her joints? A little stiff and fine. They just about have the same makeup, don't they? teal below and purple above. The lids are handled a little different, but they do have a lot of the same colors, which is fine because I like purple, so hopefully I can find something nice for her to wear. Although she has the petite body, so I might be able to find it in the teen doll bag. Maybe. You know what? I think I might just... Okay, she is the opposite of stiff. I know this is the hobby. I'm getting very decent with that doll. Is that flash? No, okay, that's just support stuff. This is the first Made to Move petite I've handled. Is this normal? Not complaining. It's all on Mattel. But, I mean, it's nice to not feel like I'm about to break the doll and about to move it. But you can. All on Mattel. Make sure I don't snag this fabric with the hook and loop tape, because it's reminding me of a lot of gem clothes I had as a kid, which pretty much got destroyed through both the hook and loop tape and just play. I'm sure I will use all the pieces of basic clothes that came with these two dolls too. Alright, we're just going to go straight to Valentine's Day, and she's probably actually going to steal the Cupid necklace. It's not really playing off of the eyeshadow, but it is playing off of the hair and the lips. Alright. Do I want to give her... Oh, sure. And I know I keep this dress in the teen doll, quote-unquote, bag, but it's more like... Yes, it's like Skipper and Blythe, but it's also some things that fit Liv better than Barbie, and that's what this dress is. I actually made this dress for a doll who has the torso from a MGA, America's Next Top Model doll. So, weirdness. These current shoes fit petite feet or just regular size, right? If I needed to, I could do the current shoes. Let's see if I can find some leggings. I think there's enough room to drop these. And this, yes. Not leggings. Tights or a hosier. Of course, I'm thinking of these that I've had forever, and I use them with a lot of stuff. I'm just not sure if they will work with this. Should just go with pink. So they're not exactly form-fitting. These are not at all form-fitting. Don't even think these were made for Barbie. I think these were made for somebody with a bigger foot. It's also the wrong color pink. Okay, maybe I won't. I'm not watching the camera. I don't know if I'm holding all this stuff completely out of view. Okay, using these coordinates with her hair and makeup, but it's just baggy. You know me, I say I'm not going to take too long, I'm going to keep this simple, and the next thing you know, you've spent an hour watching me mumble about dolls. Alright, shoes. The obvious would be red or pink. I could give her flats just because it's great to be able to give dolls flats, but that pink is totally wrong for this dress. Let's see. What pink does match that dress? Not really any of the pinks I have, so. This isn't even Barbie, this is like Totsy. I think it was a set of Totsy things from the 70s that I thrifted. Unfortunately, Barbie feet are just a little bit too big for them to kind of slowly slip them open over time, so I don't think I'm going to do that. These 90s shoes. Just don't like the angle of that angle. Is the petite ankle joint higher up than other made to move ankle joints? Because that's just feels really weird what's going on there. I might go with that. Just, is there something? Do I have any gold shoes? I'm still not used to how I rearranged the double shoe boxes. Okay. Where I looked and thought, no, that's not it. Yes, it wasn't. Alright, the pair of gold shoes I can move. Man, that ankle is so awkward. Mattel, what are you thinking? This doll needs flats or boots to hide those. I said we could go with that. Or do these little tiny blade size fit on these tiny little. Two, but we also have the Barbie size. Which actually I think these are knockoffs of Barbie shoes. They have a line in the back where they would have been slit, but they're not. That does make me a little hard to go on. And technically, yes, I should probably cut them myself. These Lika shoes fit, they are too wide. But they would be cute because they have hearts. Right, back to these Kern shoes. The thing about Kern shoes is they're actually made for feet without a lot of angle to the heel. So that means that the weird angle on the petite made to move foot is not as annoying. How about the brown one to match the gold? Nah. Get one more option. Too big. Alright, we're going with those red Kern. No, you know what? We're going with the Cowboy Boots. maximum shortness. Alright, and we are stealing the Cupid necklace. And hoping I don't accidentally break it because this is such a ridiculously fine chain. I don't know where I found it. I don't know what it came from, what I salvaged it from, and it must have had the clasp on it already, because I don't know where I would have found such a tiny clasp and tiny jump rings otherwise. Alright. Do I want to could I maybe That's how the child's humor goes, if you can hear that. Alright. Alright, I say, and then I keep looking. You know I like a doll. I start trying to give her glasses. Of course, most of the glasses I have are from 90s dolls, so they're just a little bit too narrow for a modern doll's head, even a modern collector Barbie's head is a little bit bigger than a 90s Playline Barbie's head. Still. Alright, so impromptu dressing dolls with dolls I have now that I did not know I would have this morning, thanks to Barbie's Gay Best Friend, her BarbiesGBF channel on YouTube. You're probably already watching him if you're watching me, so I don't need to hype him up anymore. He's a nice person. Who is very sure in his opinions, and that's made some people angry. But I figure I'm not big enough for them to come to me, and if they do, and probably old enough to be your mother, you don't have to come after me. I know better. So we have Andra, however you say her name. I just think it's hilarious to see when the camera recognizes a doll face as a face. Wearing a dress I made randomly about, what, a year or two ago, and her original shoes, and a beret, and Tamika, ready for Valentine's Day, and some nice stumpy boots, white stockings, a dress I made ages ago, so the camera recognized her for a moment. I think the glasses are throwing it off. And her beautiful hair color. I used to want my hair to be that color, but I could never find the right dye, and I just ended up on this, and that's where I am now because, you know, my whole approach to creativity is figure out what I can do with what I have, and now that I have these, I can do a little bit more. So I will stop rambling now, and thank you so much, BarbiesGBF, for these lovely dolls.